Hello guys, this is Bernard Tan, and today we are going to look at Dragonflies, an exam piece A2 from grade 1. Let's go! So this is the A2 piece from grade 1 ABRSM syllabus called Dragonflies from the Greenwood Tree by Marjorie Helyer. And we are going to just look at this piece and talk about some technique issues and some playing issues that we might encounter, our students make. So let's look at it. So the beginning of the piece goes this way. So this itself, it might not seem very obvious from the shot of my hand because I'm a full grown adult hand, although it's not very big. But usually when you have grade 1 students, their hands are actually small, and this sixth interval might feel like a stretch for them. So make sure that they don't stretch and play the sixth. Okay, how would it look like when they stretch and play? It will probably look something like when I stretch a whole octave to play, where my hands looks like this, instead of, right? So stretching to play broken chords is a no-no, all right? So make sure they don't stretch to play this, six apart. And the same case goes to bar number 4, where the fingering says 1, 2, 4, going into the next note, which is this span of a sixth. Even if your student can relatively comfortable to play a sixth, still you have to make sure that they don't cover every note like this and play the notes this way. Okay, this becomes very stiff. Even with my hand size, I don't actually play that, I play. So you see, when I'm at 5, my lower part of my hand is already relaxed to a neutral position, and when I come back, I play the other fingers while my other part of my hand is relaxed, so not covered this way. Make sure to train your students to play without this kind of stretching, because in the long run it might create a lot of problems for them. For example, some injuries over this side or this side of the hand. Now in the third system, it is the same. This 4-1 can seem like a stretch for a lot of students, so make sure they do 4-1 with a relaxed position and rotate up to 1. I'll talk about rotation at the end of this piece because it actually happens more. Next, we have this section. This is a good way to teach your student to connect within the two hands. To connect the notes as one legato melody. And going to this chord at bar 16, this is very important that the left hand of the student can drop to play this forte sound. Okay, we don't want them to squeeze, we don't want them to use their arm to push. Okay, so make sure that they drop into the keys, which I hope you've already covered with the student in the very beginning stage of the playing. So just dropping the finger into the key. And towards the end of the piece, So we have a 1 here on a B natural, naturally coming from. It's better to change it to 1 so that you have a 2 after that to connect the note. But the problem is the next note is over here. So it would definitely be a stretch for anybody, definitely for my hand even. So make sure that they approach with a rotational motion to the key and not stretch to the key. Rotate, prep into the key, and at the same time rotate back to here. So prep, rotate, and back. You might even get the student to have a little break between, just because they are rotating to this key and not stretching to this key. You might get a little gap, but that little gap is okay. Okay, for this stage, at this stage, that little gap is okay, which sounds a bit like this. It is negligible as long as they approach it with the right technique. I think that is the priority. So in general, it's a fun little piece. Some issues with stretching to take note. Legato between both hands will be quite nice to have the student do. And of course, dropping the finger, right? Dropping the finger to play a loud tone. And at the end of it, rotation to reach a certain interval that you cannot reach. Okay, rotate and rotate back to play the final chord. Alright, so if you like the content, like it, share it, and even subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, bye bye.